Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just waiting for it live to come up. Waiting patiently. All right, it looks like we have volume and audio, so fantastic. We're live? Excellent. Well, hello, my name is Jessie. Here at Decker Truckline, we are here to answer your questions. We go live every Tuesday at noon Central here on our YouTube channel to do just that, answer questions. It's a Q&A, so if you have a question, put it in the chat, and we'll get that answered. As I see them come in, I'll answer them. Otherwise, I'll tell you a little bit about the company in the meantime, and maybe I'll even answer your question along the way. Who knows? There are a couple of things that I want to make sure that I cover. We'll talk about equipment. We'll talk about available positions. We'll also talk about the orientation process. So we'll hit on some of those. But like I said, if you have questions in the meantime, please ask them. This is a Q&A, and this is all about Decker Truckline, available positions mostly, but obviously. Also, sharing some of the insights and behind the scenes and information like that. So, well, good morning, Mr. Parker. How are you? Thanks, Jeff. So, yeah, that's what this is all about. Last week, we got cut off in the weirdest way, but last week we were riding on a high from hearing that we were just voted the overall winner for the best fleets to drive for 2025. And so we won that in the large carrier category, which is extremely exciting. We've gotten the top 10 for the last 4 years. And we were nominated initially in 2022. That was the first time we were ever nominated, and we've gotten it every year since. And then of course this year, pretty big deal. We were a little excited, but in the midst of my excitement, I somehow turned off the camera or something. I don't know. Who knows? Good morning, Riley. The weather is not bad. I'm kind of, it was storming out over the weekend. Losing my voice, I can feel it. But, like when you start to feel better, then all of a sudden you start to lose your voice. It just doesn't really make sense. But it is. That's what it is. Anyways, yeah. Jeff says Billings weather is good, kind of windy though. Oh my goodness, yesterday was super, super windy. We were seeing, and actually some of our drivers commented that in the Facebook group, how ridiculously windy it was through Montana. So some of you might know I'm out of the Montana area, but our main terminal is in Fort Dodge, Iowa. We have a terminal in Des Moines, Iowa, Hammond, Indiana. We have a terminal in, of course, Bessemer, Alabama, Mediapolis, Sperry. That's the other area that I was top of mind. My cold is getting to me. So anyways, yes, we've got a couple of terminals, definitely heavy in the Midwest, which you'll know when we start talking about some of the available positions. You'll recognize that, yeah, they're definitely busy in the Midwest. That's why they hire so much there. That's why they're looking so much in the area. So absolutely. So last week, like I said, we were recognized for the best fleets to drive for. And then Tammy O'Toole, many of you know her, she was able to receive the award, which is super exciting. And then she went through the process of going through the award and receiving it, going through all the interviews and pictures, and she said it was just a whirlwind of excitement. So yeah, if you see any of our professional drivers out there or our shop, or even some of our office personnel, please take a moment to congratulate them, because this is an awesome team effort. And of course it has to be recognized as a team effort, because there is so much that goes into this, and if it wasn't for those behind the scenes, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So thank you guys so much for all of that. And I won't stay on that this whole time. Last week I pretty much did. I was so excited I didn't even know what to do with myself. It was quite exciting. All right, a couple of things that that we were going to go through is more focus on like a health check, like a weekly. We've been kind of doing, as of last week, a health challenge. A health challenge where last week we were trying to improve on our snacking, right? Okay, I'm gonna grab my water here just a sec. I do have a Christmas mug. Probably should figure out where the other ones are that are not as Christmassy, because I don't want to bring in all the snow. All right. So, anyways, yeah, we were focusing on snacking smarter. Some of the suggestions were, the healthy fats snacks, avocados, fantastic. Eating some, for some of us, cottage cheese is a great option. Almonds, a great option. Carrots, beef jerky, without the over processing, because sometimes beef jerky is one of my favorites. You guys probably already know that because I talk about it all the time. But the sugar added in some of those is really high, so you want to make sure that you're getting the sugar-free option. Raw nuts, raw veggies are fantastic for you. Fruits, of course, in some instances. Cinnamon's great for those of you who might be struggling with diabetes. The number of people that have said that who are diabetic who have told me that I take a cinnamon supplement. Quite impressive. So something that I've started to do myself. Not so much a supplement, but adding cinnamon to my morning drinks and stuff like that. So, yeah. So there's that on the road. My goal recently was to increase my water intake. I drink a lot of water as it is, but it's great for energy, fueling your energy and your focus. And so my challenge to myself was to drink more water, and that's what our focus is for week 2 of March. Week 2 of our fuel for the road challenge that we kind of put on for ourselves. So start your morning off with a cup of water, glass of water. I don't know. I like hot water in the morning. I like cold water too, but I'm a hot water drinker, and I know a lot of people think that's weird, but it's just very soothing. I don't drink coffee, so tea or hot water is definitely my chill area. So if you are aiming for improving your water intakes, being more hydrated, then I suggest that you increase it to half your body weight in ounces. I guess is the best way to put it. So if you're 180 pounds, you're looking at 90 ounces of water a day. Okay? All right, so you do your math. But if you don't like just plain water, if that's boring to you, then add some lemon, add some, I've got so many water bottles on my table here, I shouldn't even admit to it. Here's one of my water bottles, and inside of it is strawberries. So, frozen strawberries. I like frozen strawberries because for some reason, and I don't know why, they bring more flavor than if I have a fresh strawberry and I put it in my water. I have no idea, but it does. It's just more flavor that I get from it. Plus, of course, it keeps my water a little cooler. You can add lemon. I would suggest if you're adding lemon, don't sip the water. And the reason I say that is because it can hurt your enamel, the acid in the lemon. I also use what's it? I'm trying to think of the brand, but I also use lemon drops instead, so that it's not as bad on your enamel. And yeah, so cucumbers are a great option. Mint, any fruit really. I just like I said, I usually get frozen fruit and I just put a handful in my glass. So yeah, we'll talk next week more about more health conscious goals that we can improve. But your goal is to set just one little step closer to a healthier you or a healthier habit. Healthier habit will get you a healthier you. So if you're looking to improve your hydration, focus on more water. If you're looking to snack healthier, then add what specific snack are you going to add into your diet, or make sure that you always have, so that you don't reach for the bag of chips, but instead reach for maybe the apple, or what is it? I want to know. Maybe you have some better ideas than what I have. Last week was also Hearing Awareness Week, or Hearing Awareness Day. Actually, was last Tuesday, I think, Monday or Tuesday. Anyways, with that, there's a reminder out there too that you can always help prevent hearing loss, not hearing, but you can prevent hearing loss. So especially with children. So if you need any suggestions on that, or kind of need a little bit of background, please check out our Facebook page. We do have a few suggestions on how to improve, and the reason I say that is because hearing loss, it's hearing loss awareness. So hearing loss for a child can have a negative effect on their friendships, their social behavior. It can definitely affect their speech and some of their language development. And then, of course, with adults, it can be frustrating with relationships. You think of a lot of older adults who have had hearing, and then obviously as we get older, they can lose their hearing or lose a lot of it. And it can cause frustration and almost distance them from others because they're tired of asking for somebody to repeat themselves, or yelling so that they can hear them. And one thing that I found very interesting is that the number of people who would qualify for or have hearing aids, very few of them actually are using them. And I'm curious why that is. Are there any of you guys that have hearing aids that don't use them? And why do you choose not to use them? Because I would think that you would want the ability to communicate, and maybe it's just giving yourself a timeout when you're done with it for the day. But anyways, hearing awareness loss was last week. Hearing loss awareness, there we go, was last week. If you want more information or want a little bit of stats on it, check it out. But it is possible to prevent hearing loss. And yes, hearing aids do work. There's been a ton of development on there, and it is definitely not a one-size-fits-all solution. And then implants and stuff are also an option for many people. So all right. And then one more reminder. I feel like we're talking more medical today than driving, but there's a lot going on, and I wanted to make sure you guys were fully aware of it. We have our new Med1 program. So a lot of you guys are aware that we're now using APLOS for our benefits, medical, dental, vision, prescription. We have our whole system through APLOS. Part of that is partnering with Med1 for our prescriptions. And what's very exciting is that we've worked quite hard, and I say we, but it's definitely our benefits department. I shouldn't take any credit in this one, but our benefits department has worked really hard to make sure that we've got $0 copays for our prescriptions. And it's not just our generics anymore that are $0 copay. It's also our brand name and our specialty prescriptions. So all generic medications, those are available at zero cost to you, to any of the plan participants at retail pharmacies everywhere, basically, except for Walgreens and CVS. So keep that in mind if you want $0 generics available everywhere except for Walgreens and CVS, retail-wise. And as far as the brand names, we have some brand name maintenance medications that are available through Control RX International. That's one. And if you're wondering whether or not yours is on there, I would highly suggest going to controlrxinternational.com to see if yours is on there. We also have $0 specialty, $0 copay for specialty, and that's through Navicare RX. And members can receive the specialty medications again at zero cost, zero copay, and you can speak to a patient care coordinator in order to find out if yours is covered. that's huge savings. You guys definitely take a moment to make sure that yours is under those. And if it's not under one, it could very well be under another. A couple examples that they gave that, of course, I can't pronounce half of them. Lisinopril, though, lisinopril at Walgreens was $9.83. At Walmart, it was $4. So you can see a little bit of the difference there. But if you go to med1-rx.com, you can log into the member portal and you'll be able to see some of the different pharmacies and different prescriptions that are covered as well. So pharmacies that you can go to. All right. What else am I missing for the prescriptions? I think that's about it. But yes, definitely some great prescription coverage. So you got to check that out. All right, so a lot has been going on here at Decker for the last couple of months, kind of behind the scenes. Let's see, was it December or November that we had our first our professional driver and leadership forum. And we were very excited to get that kicked off because with the professional driver and leadership forum, that was a combination of some of our drivers and some of the management in-house, the office management, and not all management, but office staff that could come together and work to take in suggestions, make some changes, kind of get the wheels going in certain situations. We've had a driver council in the past, and that was basically, I want to say it was 10 drivers that we had who were part of that council. But so many of those suggestions would come in, and then we didn't have the right processes in order to get some of the suggestions moving into action. Now, obviously, not all suggestions can move forward, but there's a lot of really good suggestions out there that we can make improvements on, or we can move forward on. So that being said, we have definitely made a lot of improvements. We've been working behind the scenes on our TransFlow app and trying to improve that, the usability of it, and of course, the tablet as well. So we've been working on the ELDs as well, trying to make it just more user-friendly and being able to get the information that you need as a professional driver. What we have discovered is that the view that we have, that I would have, is different than the view that you have, even if I am in a quote-unquote driver view. And it just depends on whether you're on your tablet or you're on your phone. And that's something that we're trying to work through so that we can make it better and more user-friendly for you. Another one of the most recent changes that we've made beyond that, and making sure that available documents are in order and stuff through the tablet and through the TransFlow. But one of the additional things that we've been working on is updating our policy books. Some of our professional drivers have come to us, and this is what's interesting to note, I should say, is that we've made some updates and we've had some feedback from our professional drivers that said, you know what, we believe that we need to be held to a higher standard, and we want others to be held to a higher standard. And you can tell that a lot of those who are representing the driver side of the professional driver in the leadership forum are those who take pride in being a Decker professional driver, and just being a professional driver in general as well. And so they came to the leadership forum and they said, okay, we feel that we need to be held to a higher standard. There's some things that we would like to change within the driver dress code and a hygiene policy as well. So those changes have been made, and really what it is just, no sweatshirts, no holy sweatshirts, and no vulgar phrases, and just being a reflection of the company, a reflection of you, how you dress, how you present yourself is a reflection of you and a reflection of the company. And as a whole, our professional drivers have asked to make sure that we hold each other accountable for that. So that said, some of those changes have occurred and they are available in the driver and office in all the policy manuals that we have. So you can check those out. You can access them online. you can access them through the Transflow app too. That's part of the new changes that we've made, so it makes it a little bit easier for you and in accessing that information. So clothing's got to be neat and clean and appropriate for the work environment. You know, you don't want anything that's too loose that could be a safety hazard. You know, get caught in something and risk entanglement or something like that. Moving machinery, jewelry, makeup, things that are, you know, hanging loose. Makeup usually not hanging loose, but you know, that kind of thing. So we did make some of those changes based off of the input we get from the professional driver and leadership forum. So appreciate that. Quite a bit of, obviously, a lot of input from the driver and leadership forum that we are continuing to work on, and we'll continue to give you updates as they come about. But that was one that we were able to make, and that has been completed. And like I said, as we work behind the scenes on some of them to get them taken care of for you, and then once they're ready to roll out or getting ready, then we'll be announcing them to keep you guys in the loop of what's going on here at Decker, right? All right, so speaking of what's going on, we have implemented a sign-on bonus for the last, I think, about 2 weeks now that we started a sign-on bonus here at Decker. It's not available to everybody, but it is available to those who have at least 2 years of tractor trailer experience over the road. And of course, within our hiring area. So if you live in an area that we aren't currently hiring, then of course we can't hire you out of there, but you wouldn't also qualify for the sign-on bonus anyway. So, and depending on where you live, in some areas we offer a little bit higher sign-on bonus than others, but that's based off of our freight lanes, where we're heavier with freight, where there's more of a need for professional drivers to meet the needs of our freight demands. So Midwest is a great example. Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Wisconsin, those are areas that we do offer a $5,000 sign-on bonus instead of the $4,000 sign-on bonus. A little bit different there. But like I said, that's based off of hiring needs, which I addressed just a little bit earlier, saying that, you know, we're very heavy within the Midwest, our main terminal being Fort Dodge. It's right there in the Midwest. So if you guys have any questions, if you'd like to speak to a recruiter directly, then I highly recommend that you give us a call at 877-433-2537. That snuck up on me. I am so sorry. Hasn't made my eyes water. And I feel fine, so I don't know why. Anyways, so those sign-on bonuses pay out in 4 installments. Thanks, Jeff. Those sign-on bonuses pay out in 4 installments. The first installment at 6 months. So if it's the $5,000 sign-on bonus, it pays out $1,500, and then $2,000. So at 6 months, it's $1,500. At 9 months, it's $1,500. At 12 months or 1 year, on your 1 year anniversary, it is $2,000 bonus. So you get all those installments. I think I said that right. And then with the $4,000 sign-on bonus, it's $1,000 at 6 months, $1,000 at 9 months, and $2,000 at your 1 year. Yeah, I got that right. So that's how the payout is for the sign-on bonus. And I have seen questions. From some people asking, okay, but if it's a sign-on bonus, why do you not get it up front? Well, I guess for me, I expect it to be spread out, because if you were to just come get the sign-on bonus right away, you could just leave, right? I mean, there's some longevity that we're looking for as well, but you get it for signing on. I also don't know anywhere where you get a sign-on bonus from day one. But that is a question that I get asked. Hopefully that answers the question. I think that's pretty, I don't want to say obvious, but I think that's understandable. You get it at 6 months, 9 months, and 1 year. And then with any other bonuses, you can have those available from the month following when you ran it. You'll be able, so let me give it more specific. Anything that you ran in January pays out around the third week of February. Everything that you ran in February pays out around the third. The bonuses pay out around the third week of March. As I say this, I'm recognizing that I'm probably giving the impression that you don't get weekly pay, but you do. You get paid weekly. You get paid direct deposit every Friday. Your paperwork has to be in Tuesday night in order to get paid Friday. But the bonuses are a reflection of what you ran the month before, are paid out the third pay period of the month following when you ran it. All right, so that, hopefully that cleared that up. Got to make it confusing for you, I guess. So I'll give you an example. This next week, we'll have our scorecard information coming out. So for those of you who are here at Decker, please check your scorecard, review it with your driver leader, and make sure that there aren't any discrepancies. If there is something that needs to be addressed, please review it, and with your driver leader, you're going to review anyway, and then make sure that they submit an update or an amendment to it so that we can get that taken care of, because it will be should be paying out next week, right? Yeah, because it'll be the 17th. So it'll probably be paying out either the 17th or 18th, Monday or Tuesday of it next week. Now, that's your bonus payout is the scorecard and the safety bonus. The scorecard is the max scorecard bonus for a company driver is 4 cents a mile on all the miles that you completed the previous month. And the max safety bonus is a penny per mile on all the miles that you completed for the previous month. So of course, they have different criteria for the two of them. The safety bonus is based off of our Lytx system, and it's calculated using some of the AI as well, but using the Lytx system, measuring following distance and speed gauge, and if there was a critical event like a hard braking or erratic lane change or something like that, those are things that would affect your Lytx score. And then, of course, with the scorecard, we have the criteria are fuel compliance, idle time, you have your miles, your on-time delivery, if there was a preventable accident or CSA violation, and on-time delivery, did I say that one? I think I might have just said that one. Any claims, that's the other one. I think I said all those. So it's 7 criteria on the scorecard. And then for the safety bonus, those two are separate, but combined, you can get an extra 5 cents a mile on all the miles that you've completed for the month. So it's definitely a good opportunity to earn an extra, possibly $400, $500 for the previous month, or for the month, based off your previous miles. On average, we usually see, because you can get anywhere from 1 to 4 cents a mile on the scorecard, so we do see an average of about $2.40, $2.60, I think, on the payouts. So 2-3 cents a mile is usually about right for those bonuses. Now, 1,000-point scorecard is perfect. That is a perfect scorecard. And you do want to get that as often as possible, because it is some massive competition when it comes to the Driver of the Month program. And part of the Driver of the Month program, the criteria for getting nominated, is the scorecard and the safety bonus. So we've just finalized the new Driver of the Month program, and you'll see that we'll have that posted on our Facebook page, the winners for January. So we'll have January, and then we'll have a quick turnaround for February numbers, because we were finalizing the criteria. There were a little bit different, or a little bit of changes to it compared to last year, and so that's where the delay happened. But we've got the winners, and we'll have the February winners here in maybe about 2 weeks, and then we'll be on track from here on out, which it'll be announced about the halfway through the third pay period, or the third week of the month following when you earned it. But yeah, scorecard, safety bonuses, those are usually part of the criteria. Your driver leader will be the one who makes the nomination, and they each nominate somebody, and have a write-up explaining why, and that way, in addition to all of the stats, the numbers, the productivities, and all of those will be factored in to the nominating process, and then the voting process as well. So we will have 5. I'm trying to remember all my numbers. We'll have 5 nominees, or 5 finalists. There we go. 5 finalists for the refrigerated division, and we'll have 3 finalists for the flatbed division. And here's where some of the changes happened. We now have 1 winner for the flatbed division and 1 winner for the refrigerated van division. So we had, and that's what we had, several years ago. And then we kind of expanded it out. Well, we'll bring it back in, so we have 1 for each. And then they'll compete for the Driver of the Year finalists, and then we'll have the Driver of the Year, and the Driver of the Year will get the $15,000 bonus. And then the Driver of the Year finalists will each get a $2,000 bonus. And let's see, there's 6 finalists altogether, but like I said, the Driver of the Year winner will get the $15,000. Now that's for 2025 moving forward. On April 1st, we will be recognizing our Decker Award ceremony. We'll be recognizing all of our Driver of the Years for the previous year. And Driver of the Year was, hopefully that wasn't loud on there. But Driver of the Year will be chosen from one of the 12 individuals who earned Driver of the Month in 2024. So in 2024, if you earn Driver of the Month, you automatically go into the running for Driver of the Year. We have 5 divisions for the 2024 season. We have 5 divisions who will earn Driver of the Year. I'm trying to make sure I've got this right. Midwest Flatbed, Midwest Refrigerated Dry Van, Over the Road Flatbed, and Over the Road Refrigerated Dry Van. And then we have our owner-operator lease purchase division as well. So there's 5 divisions for 2024 who will qualify for Driver of the Year. And each of those Driver of the Year winners, which we have not announced yet, we're finalizing those, they will each receive a $3,000 bonus. And then from those 5 winners, a grand champion is chosen, and that grand champion receives a $15,000 bonus. And that will be available, or that will be announced on April 1st when we do the awards ceremony. I believe the awards ceremony will be 6:30 or so, around 6:30 on April 1st in Fort Dodge, Iowa. So we'll have more information coming on about that. Also on April 1st, during the awards ceremony, we recognize our professional drivers who have gotten million miles. 1 million miles, 2 million miles, 3 million miles, 4 million miles. I think the highest we've gotten is 5 million, right? Is that right? But there are a lot of awards that we'll be recognizing during the 2024 Decker Award ceremony. So stay tuned for that on April 1st. Jeff says, are pets still allowed at Decker? Yes. We allow dogs, more specifically. So we do allow 1 dog, no more than 80 pounds, and non-aggressive breed. So it can't be what's considered an aggressive breed. And we do need shot records, a photograph, and it's a $500 deposit for your dog to ride with you. Now, you can have up to 2 dogs. You can have 2 dogs, but no more than 65 pounds combined between the 2. And again, shot records and the $500 deposit, shot records and a photo of each of them as well. So yes, we do allow dogs. At some of our terminals, we have designated areas. Well, I think pretty much all of them. We have designated areas for our dogs. And you'll need to keep them leashed because there are some people who are not, they might be allergic to them or they might not be as dog friendly. But you'll need to keep them leashed, kenneled if you're not with them. And then, I knew I was going somewhere with that. In Fort Dodge, we also have a dog washing station, which to me is the coolest thing ever. because I have two very large dogs. And so having a station available, I'm sure you guys would really appreciate that. Get your dog clean, and yeah, I mean, you're still washing them, but it's pretty nice to have it. You get your truck washed while you wash your dog, right? Pretty nice. So that is available, and that's in Fort Dodge. We also have additional amenities at some of the terminals, laundry facilities in Fort Dodge. We've got the Decker Motel where you can stay in one of the rooms while your truck is being serviced if you have an A or B service, or even if you're getting more work done on the truck, and you need a place to relax and kind of wind down while they're taking care of that. That's an option for you. So yes, awesome. So, what else am I missing here? Let's talk about qualifying. To qualify for Decker, you do need to have 6 months of tractor trailer experience to be an experienced driver. Now, if you have just been a recent graduate of an approved school, we do hire for students in some locations, but we've definitely been more specific in our hiring for the students because having availability. And right now, I believe I only have refrigerated student availability. I believe so. So if you live in areas within our hiring areas, Nebraska and Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, I think Wisconsin, and then the Detroit area of Michigan, then yes, we do hire for students. I would definitely reach out to the recruiting department and visit with them and just make sure that you have a good understanding of where, what the process is, and if you're in the hiring area for the student opportunity. And again, right now it's just refrigerated opportunities that we train. So for refrigerated, or for a student position, you have a week long of orientation instead of the 3-day orientation. So you have a week long orientation. We pay you $500 for completing the orientation, and then you'll go with the trainer for 2 to 3 weeks out on the road. Okay. And while you're with the trainer, you get paid $100 a day, so roughly $700 a week. And then once you've completed your training, then you'll go solo. At that point, you have a minimum pay of $1,000 a week, but your rate of pay per mile, which in the refrigerated division for a student, keep in mind it's for a student, you'd start at 52 cents a mile and work your way up to 55 cents a mile by the end of the first year. You get a penny raise every 90 days as a student. And so you should be at 55 by the end of the first year. 10 cents per mile is per diem, so you're not taxed on 10 cents a mile. And that goes whether you're a student or whether you're an experienced driver. That per diem is across the board. If you're an experienced driver with at least 2 years of experience, we do currently offer a sign-on bonus. So as long as you've got 2 years of tractor trailer experience, we do have a sign-on bonus. It's a 3-day orientation for an experienced driver. I know there was something I was going to say on that. That's why so with the number of jobs that you have for the sign-on bonus, no more than 3 jobs in the refrigerated division within the last 18 months, and no more than 4 jobs in the flatbed division in the last 18 months in order to qualify for the sign-on bonus. We do still have availability, but to earn the sign-on bonus, that's one of the criteria is the work history and then the number of years of experience. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, you guys, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, want to speak to a recruiter directly, 877-433-2537 to talk to one of the recruiters to get your questions answered. To qualify, no major moving violations in the last 3 years, no DOT recordable accidents within the last 3 years, and of course, like I said, good work history. What we normally do is have you complete your physical and your drug test before you come to Fort Dodge, Iowa, and we'll make those arrangements for you. So once you qualify, we've got that part approved, then you'll go and we'll make arrangements to get your physical and your drug test. Now, if your not drug test, but if your physical is good for another 6 months, and you've had it for 6 months or so, then we could probably just use that one. You'll just need to send over the long form so that we can get that signed off on. If it's not, then we'll just schedule you a new one because we'll have you go and do your drug tests at the same time. So drug tests are both the hair follicle and the urinalysis, and again, those are done before you come to orientation. And then we also have an online orientation before you come to the physical orientation in Fort Dodge. So the online orientation consists of a number of, well, it's a variety of modules is what it is, but those modules consist of either videos, images, interactive images, articles, and then each one is followed by a couple of questions, maybe one, maybe three, and once you've completed all those modules, then you've completed the online orientation, and then you're scheduled, of course, for the physical orientation. We'll take care of your rental car or flight if you choose a flight, but I think most people do rental cars. We'll take care of your hotel and your meals while you're here. Your hotel rooms are solo, so you don't have to, we're not matching you up with anybody there. So you have a solo room. Like I said, we pay you $500 for completing orientation. It's a 3-day orientation for an experienced driver like yourself, and then you go through company policies, procedures, running the ELD. You'll meet with the several different managements and the several different members of the management in order to kind of get to know and open up some lines of communication. So if you have questions, you have someone to ask. Of course, you'll have your driver leader. You'll be able to meet them in person as well. And then we have our one-on-one with the maintenance department, where you walk through the truck and make sure that you know what all the amenities are and how to work them. APUs can sometimes be difficult, so we want to make sure that you know how to use them and utilize that. So with the amenities, we have APUs, inverters, refrigerators, microwaves. We have a 22-inch television with Epic View, so it's got streaming. We have Wi-Fi available through it as well. That's all company paid. Now, we do have a radio-ready Sirius system, Sirius Radio. However, you would have to hold a subscription for that, unlike the TV Decker holds the subscription for that for you. But if you want to use the Sirius Radio, now you don't have to. A lot of people don't, because we have the free Wi-Fi. A lot of people just stream through that, so they'll listen to their radio stereo that way. Totally up to you on what you choose. Our Wi-Fi is through Verizon. In case you're wondering, it's 5G. And what am I missing? Oh, amenities. There was more. But we weren't done. They're double bunk trucks. They also have CB units in the trucks, and like I said, the ELDs. Now, one thing to also keep in mind is that, of course, they're double bunk. They've got plenty of storage. If you have questions on any of the dimensions and stuff, feel free to ask, because with the new refrigerators in the Peterbilts and in the 589s, they're 3.2, where the older ones were 1.9. So we've gotten bigger. So we do appreciate that. Our Volvos and our Freightliners, those do have bigger refrigerators as well. I think they're 3.1, but the new Peterbilts, the 589s, are 3.2. Yes, so very well equipped. Again, if you have questions, 877-433-2537. Ask away. We'll get that answered for you. But yeah, lots of amenities, and the maintenance department will want to kind of walk through it with you and make sure that if you have questions, they're answering them, and troubleshooting them along the way, so that you know how to take care of it. Because, think about weather, and we're still in the time of year where you just don't know what you're going to get. And if you're going in an area that's going to be pretty chilly, you want to make sure that heater works. Get the bunk heater. And then, of course, there's areas that get pretty hot, especially in the summer, and you're going to want that AC working properly. So that's why it's crucial to pay attention during the maintenance one-on-one, so you know how to use it. And there's a lot of amenities that they have to go over, so you want to make sure. But if you have questions, that's definitely the time to ask. Now, the majority of our trucks are the 579 Peterbilts. We do have a handful of Volvos and a handful of Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions. The Volvos are 740s on the flatbed side, 860s on the refrigerated side, and then the Peterbilt combos, there's the newest ones we have are the 589s, and then we have the 389s, which have been basically assigned to some of our veteran drivers for the last couple of years because they a little bit more chrome, a little, specced out a little bit. And so 579s are the majority of our truck. The 579s definitely have the bigger cab, so do the 589s. And so they have they've got a little bit more room in the sleeper. I said cab, but I meant sleeper. And so they got a little bit more room. They're all double bunk though. The 389s, 589s, 579s. I feel like I'm just running out numbers here. But yeah, they all are double bunk. Same with the Volvos and the Freightliners. So whether you have somebody that's riding with or need the extra storage, you've got it. As far as a rider policy, we do allow riders ages 10 and up. So Jeff says, I was chained up in the cold last month and got frostbite. You got frostbite on your knee? Now it's in the 60s. It's weird weather. You know what's super strange is what we had. Jeff's in the same weather pattern that I am. But we had what? It was 60s last week. Early last week. And then it was like 10. That sucked. And it snowed. Like we had the blizzard and everything. 10 might have been high actually. And now we're back at the 40s and 50s, which with a ton of wind. We had a couple of days that we didn't have wind and they were warm, and that is very unusual. I'll take those. It is weird weather. And I swear it keeps getting pushed further into spring and in summer. The nastiness, right? I think so. I've had enough of that. All right. So again, if you want to speak to a recruiter, if you guys have more questions, please reach out to them, 877-433-2537. And for those of you who are with Decker and have gotten a notification that your scorecard numbers are out, make sure that you review them by yourself as well as with your driver leader. So like I said, if there's any discrepancies, let's get those centered in and get those taken care of before Friday. That way we can get you paid out next week on those. Why not? Mike says the fridge in the Pete's are 3.1 and the freezer, which are separate. Awesome. So, and which Pete is that though? Because I thought the 589s were the 3.2. I thought that's what Matt said. The updated on that one. I know the 2020 and 2021 were larger, I think. They were larger, and then all of the couple of years they were the smaller ones, and then 579. Okay. So the 589s, I believe, are the ones that have the larger one. Getting used to it. We like to have the big fridges, so we were pretty jacked that they're big again. Give you more space. But he says Mike did say the fridge and freezer are separate. I like that. Personally, I like that. Cool. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, then I let you be. But like I said, if you run into any of our professional drivers out there on the road, please make sure you congratulate them because they deserve it. On a Best Fleets to Drive For, that was fantastic. If it wasn't for them, obviously we wouldn't have any of that. But yeah, congrats to the whole team on that. And then as far as availability, we do have a referral bonus drawing that we will also have on April 1st. So April 1st will be a very, very busy day. On the 1st of April, that's going to be our first quarter referral drawing. And if you're not familiar with the referral drawing or how the referral program works, is we pay $2,000 for every referral who hires on. So if you refer somebody and they don't hire on, There's no pay, but if you refer somebody and they are hired on, then you'll get a $2,000 referral bonus. I believe it's at 30, 60, 90, no, 60, 90, 180 days that it pays out. 60, 90, 180 days. There you go. It says $500 a pop. And then with each quarter, if you refer somebody within the first quarter, your name goes into I was going to say into a hat, but it's actually that cooler right there. That, I love it that I can actually get to it sometimes. There we go. That cooler, I filled full of names from individuals who refer someone who's hired on for within that quarter. Your name goes into that. I draw for a chance at an extra $1,000. So that's another $1,000. So technically, one referral could get you $3,000 bonus altogether. Technically. But for the most part, it's $2,000 bonus. Yeah. Again, if you guys have any questions, let us know. And if you want to refer somebody, then reach out to our recruiting department, because we want to make sure that we have a name attached to that referral so that you can get paid, right? Probably a good idea. 877-433-2537. All right. I will let you be, but you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And again, I challenge you to improve on your water intake. My water? I told you I have way too many glasses up here, and they're all water. Plain water, strawberry water, and then hot water. It's like lukewarm now. Okay, whatever. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I thank you for joining me today, and enjoy the rest of your March 12th week, right? Well, tomorrow's 12th. Fair enough. Take care.